Hello, everyone. This is James Wu, founder and CEO of DFG. So I think I may be a little bit different than other people because I'm actually an investor and a big supporter into the Polkadot ecosystem. So I'm going to share a little bit from the VC perspective, from the investment perspective, about how would I view about the ecosystem. So DFG started from 2015, so pretty early stage. We are in the industry for 7 years. So I found this companies when I was still studying Columbia University. So one thing which makes us a little bit different is like we don't have LP. My family support me a lot from the very beginning. We start with $20 million, get pretty lucky into a couple of good deals. Right now we have $1 billion in UAM, and we invest into more than 100 different projects. So there are three things we invest. Starting from the very beginning, we invest in equity. Then we invest a lot into different protocols. Then right now we invest heavily into the Polkadot ecosystem. For equity, we do two types of investment. The first is really about the licensed CeFi business, like we do recently, like FE Bank, CoinList, Republic, Amber Group, and a few others. I feel like if you're doing custody for other people, then you have to get a license for that. Otherwise, it's super risky. The other is more like another type of equity we prefer is about the infrastructure. For example, we are the largest shareholder of ChainSafe. They provide a lot of great technology to Polkadot and other protocols. And we do invest into Block and a few other infrastructure as well. Yeah. The interesting happened start from already 2017 and 2018. Because right now, at that time, we feel token is super important. Then we get early into a couple of protocols, including Solana, Polkadot, Near, and a few others. But after this kind of investment, once we invest them, then it's great that we get a pretty decent valuation when we make the investment in such kind of like a bear market, right, in 2018. But after that, we think about what is really the important things make a protocol very outstanding is really about its vision and ability to realize the vision, right? So there's clearly two issues in the industry. One is the scalability issues, which Bitcoin has been faced for a long time. The second is really about the future belongs to a lot of protocols. That's multi-chain future, and the cross-chain is definitely the most important things to solve in the future, right? So which means like once we think about these two questions, we will have a clear idea that scalability issues can be solved by a lot of ways, right? For example, Ethereum can use a layer 2, it will eventually work, or you can use the other protocol like BNB chain or Solana, whatever, to solve that issue. So that's not a problem, that's not a big issue in the long term, which makes more sense, since we are entering into a multi-chain world. Cross-chain is really the key here, and how to solve the problem is really important. It's going to generate the next, probably we're going to generate the next bull run. So I'm especially very bullish on this point. Then we take a look at our holdings. I think probably in the future, Polkadot and Ethereum 2.0, probably Cosmos as well will be super important. Among three of them, I'm very bullish on Polkadot because its ability to realize the vision, the technology is very solid, and also we got so many talent developers in the Polkadot space. So that is the initial thought and why we are so bullish on Polkadot. So we decided to really see all these other layer 1 protocols being very focused on this ecosystem. Yeah, there's a couple of deals we start doing in stuff around 2019. You can see 50% of them are DeFi, which makes sense. So there's a lot of DeFi project, either they are layer 1 parachain like a Kala, Interlay, Equilibrium, and others in the space. There are also ecosystem projects like in ASA ecosystem, for example, ASA Swap, Starlay, and a few others. So there's a lot of DeFi projects we invest, and we're also excited about metaverse and NFT projects like Remark, Big Countries, Infinity, and a few others. They are doing a pretty good job. And also we invest into different infrastructure, like EVM comparable, project like All-Star. We also buy some moving token from OTC market right now. So we invest into a lot of different wallets. We are talking to a few other decent wallet projects. I feel like Polkadot.js can be improved. There's other solutions for that. So I'm investing heavily into wallet perspective as well right now. So this is probably the holdings we have until probably a couple of months ago, we are still, talking to a lot of great Polkadot projects right now about keep investing to them and keep buying them even on the second market if their token get listed. So we are kind of like allocating more capital into different sectors in the Polkadot space. So in the Polkadot space, I'm trying to be more diversified, and I'm trying to, kind of invest into more things and don't want to miss any good project in the space. Yeah, there's kind of a couple of things we do, more than just being a financial investor. It's more like adding value, adding real value to the project. It's more like, we have actually a lot of resources outside the Polkadot ecosystem which may potentially help the Polkadot project. For example, there's a lot of, crowd loan platform we invest, like CoinList, we put in a lot of money into that, and Republic, and a few others, IDO platform as well. So that's the one. And also we manage pretty good relationship with the top tier exchange in the past several years, like Binance, OKX, Huobi, KuCoin, etc. So these resources can be useful when the projects mature, then when they go public. So there's some connection we can bring to them. And also marketing is important. We have 2 consulting firms, Reblon and Nano Media, so our portfolios can share with us about all the resources. We got good connection with the top tier medias, CoinDesk, Cointelegraph, the blog, and whatever. So that's, I would say, overall the marketing side, and we can be helpful to the project. And also about incubation, that's more suitable for the early stage project. For example, we give grant to sponsor Dora Hacks. We also sponsor Berkeley. We also talk a lot to the incubator like Lionhash and Outliers. These are more suitable for the early stage project. We can kind of help them on the incubation side. There's like first is more about common kind of things we can help. The second is more specific, including DeFi is providing the TVL. So early this year, as I already explained, we allocated around like $50 million to start with a combination of stablecoin and the native asset to supporting the DeFi project we invest from the very beginning of them. So this is, I think, important to supporting them from the beginning. Then gradually they can become mature. And for GameFi project, it's about relationship with the gaming guild and other resources. So we got good connection with Merit Circle, GuildFi, YGG, etc. So this is really something we can be helpful. Yeah, and what we are looking for right now is really about basically everything in the Polkadot ecosystem. Anything makes sense in the Polkadot ecosystem. I will expand a little bit for the first part, because right now in such a bear market, the price really goes down a lot. I think to some certain degree it may go down further, but to some certain degree I think Polkadot already being undervalued. So I'm as a private company, I don't need to disclose any of my holdings to anybody, but I still want to expand a little bit here. At this stage we are definitely buying DOT on the secondary market. So I'm going to buy that when I think the price is suitable. Even if it goes on further, I will just buy more. So right now, which makes things very interesting is actually the number of the DOT holdings in our firm is actually reached the peak. It's actually more than the number of DOT we hold in the bull market. So which makes me very excited, and just like but nobody can predict what is going on the secondary market. But my strategy is once it goes down further, because we believe in the long-term value of DOT, then we just buy it. So it makes sense for us in the long term. So our goal, I don't know how to say that without being too arrogant, but our goal is really to become the largest institutional holder or institutional investor for DOT. So that is our goal, very straightforward and clear. For the layer 1 pair chains, we are going to kind of support, we already support all the, basically 15 of the 20, pair chain, but we are going to definitely looking for more to support. There's a lot of great projects we support from the very beginning, like Akala, Artstar, Infinity, HydroDX. I haven't listed all of them here, but if someone, outside the ecosystem trying to build cool stuff in the Polkadot space and trying to be a pair chain, I'm happy to give the DOT to them for the pair chain auction. This is very simple and straightforward for us. It makes sense. Just go for it here. I will cover the cost for you. That's kind of like something I can do for you. And this will, I think, will help a lot of projects to kind of enter into the Polkadot ecosystem. And of course, since a lot of layer 1 pairs become more mature, like Akala, Artstar, Moving, Infinity, and others, there are a lot of ecosystem projects came out. We just invest into the ecosystem, whether it's DeFi, GameFi, could be Metaverse, even NFT in the future, then there's something we will invest in the future. The last but not least is about infrastructure. I already explained a little bit. Right now, we're taking a look at different wallets. We're talking to Sub Wallet, Talisman, Fearless Wallet, Nova Wallet, basically everyone, and see how we can support them. I think infrastructure is super important. And there's, of course, the other infrastructure like Bytefall, subqueries, like we invest before, and we will keep supporting them. Yeah, I mean, still want to talk a little bit further about overall the bear market, because right now, since the crypto market as a whole become much bigger, the correlation between the Bitcoin or crypto as a whole with stock market become much stronger, right? So clearly, U.S. stock market entering the bear market, so it probably brings some like a negative effect on the crypto market as well. And someone say U.S. face recession or whatever, that's also bring negative effect to the crypto market. So a lot of people are being very kind of sad about what things going on in the next couple of years. I mean, indeed, and to be honest, nobody can predict how long will be the bear market for the whole industry. CZ say 4 years, people maybe say 2 years, whatever. So we can never predict that. But also, I'm a little bit I could be too optimistic. I think the bear market will last slightly shorter than the last one, probably like somewhere around 2.5 years. But that's my prediction, but I could be wrong anyway. So our strategy here really changed very different from the last bull run. So of course, in the last bull run, we basically invest somewhere like 2 or 3 projects a week. But right now, in the bear market, to be honest, we invest in at most probably 2 projects a month, probably 1 to 2 projects a month. But we actually deploy more capital because we increase our ticket size really a lot. In the bull market, we've been following a lot of deals, putting 100K, 200K to a lot of deals. I mean, we're still putting a couple million into the good ones, but the ticket size range really it's a wide range of our ticket size. But in the bull market, I think I'm going to asking a much decent percentage of the network, somewhere like between 2 to 5%, and putting at least $1 million up to probably $5 to $10 million into one project. I think that's a capital enough for the project to survive the crypto winter. Of course, I'm happy to co-invest with other great VCs to supporting the decent project we like. So this is our strategy. We're deploying more capital, but invest less project, but being more involved in the project we like. Yeah, this is something also, I already mentioned a little bit about our strategy in the bear market. What I want to say is, one thing I want to highlight, I'm actually very biased. I'm actually have a preference about investing to the Polkadot project. If there's some project outside the Polkadot ecosystem, it has to be super good. It has to be pure innovation. It has to be really catch your eyeball, then I will probably make an investment. But eventually this will still benefit the Polkadot ecosystem because I connect this kind of great project with the Polkadot project for the partnership, right? So this is really still benefit the Polkadot ecosystem. But I do have a preference about the Polkadot ecosystem. As long as you build something makes sense, you have a decent team to work on that, you are serious, then we will invest. So I would say throughout the bear market in the next 2 years, on the DFG side, still probably 85th, maybe 85th or 80% of the deal flow still will be in the Polkadot ecosystem. Yeah, I mean, I already explained this before, why we think Polkadot's, going to be excellent in the next bull run. So this because of vision and because of the ability to raise the vision. So I think, I'm not saying other layer 1 is not doing a good job, but clearly some of them are already losing momentum. For the next bull run, we will see pretty exciting kind of development of Ethereum 2.0 and Polkadot. I think these are probably the 2 most important things in the next bull run. I'm very bullish on Polkadot, but people may disagree with me. But anyway, I just do whatever things I think is right? Okay, so one last thing I want to mention here is I go to actually a lot of conferences outside the Polkadot community. So actually a lot of people ask me about a lot of questions. Why are you guys so bullish on Polkadot, and what happened in the Polkadot, and why are you guys not choosing Solana, or why are you guys not choosing Avalanche, whatever. So I feel like it's not their fault, but clearly what they have is not a lot of understanding about what is going on in the Polkadot space, right? So I just want to to ask all of us in the Polkadot ecosystem to do more education adoptions to the people outside the Polkadot ecosystem. So this is definitely something I think really super, super important for us to do in the future. Because clearly, there's some of the barrier. For example, if you want to be a Polkadot project, you want to be a peer chain, you need to spend a lot of money on that, right? There's a cost for that. And the learning curve for the substrate is actually very steep, right? But once you learn it, it will be very easy for you. But public Cosmos is easy to learn, right? There's a lot of barrier for that. But more importantly, we can tell them about the benefit about using the whole substrate technology, and also what is the benefit in the Polkadot ecosystem, what is really happening here. So what I want to do is really about more adoption, education. I need all the people doing with us and educate other people about what is happening here. So there's a few facts I list here, I think, which is interesting. I talk to them a lot when they ask me the question. So the first is, if you take a look about the largest developer community in 2021. People think Polkadot lose momentum in 2021, but it's actually Ethereum and Polkadot. They are the two largest developer community. Solana is great, and Avalanche is great, but there's a lot of activity on the surface. But if you talk about the developer community, really Polkadot is, and Ethereum are the two largest. This is something we can highlight from the development perspective. The second is really about the project. People will think Solana have a lot of projects, other Polkadot have a lot of projects, but indeed, Polkadot have like 500 different projects. And a decent amount of them are actually very decent, right? So I'm not saying all the other projects in the other layer 1 ecosystem are pretty creepy or kind of scammers, whatever. But if you're talking about the quality of the project, Polkadot is definitely the one, probably one of the best that you can ever mention. People are very serious about what they build, and they keep building it. And the quality of the developer and the quality of the project is really high. And also, of course, the product is also very kind of good. So this is really something I want to highlight. Speaking of the quantity, it's not like a small ecosystem. Speaking of the quality, it's really high. So this is something we can highlight to the kind of public. And also, I didn't put it here, but Masari just did a report about the institutional holding of about the layer 1 protocols, and the Polkadot is clearly the second largest of institutional holding, which is probably true. And I know a lot of people sell Polkadot before, but clearly there's some of the decent VCs or institutional investors investing to Polkadot, right? Like people like us buying token on the secondary market. Like there's 3 investors in Europe, pretty good investor in Europe, pretty good investor in US, like Polychain and others. They are supporting the Polkadot ecosystem without being too noisy, without being too kind of arrogant on Twitter, I would say. So this is really something, from the investment perspective. Also, this is a very kind of good ecosystem with great potential. So we have good developer, we have good product, we have good investor. We have enough fund. So, we just tell the public we are good. So that's it. And once we do more adoption and, kind of adoption and education, then people will realize eventually one day Polkadot is pretty good, and I would love to participate and do that. So this is really, I think, one of the most important things I will do in the next couple of years for this. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'm very bullish on Polkadot and the .summer. So if you guys have any new ideas, if you want to chat to me, feel free to find me on my colleague Terry and join us here. So feel free to ask us anything, and we're happy to discuss further in details. And thank you.